they're not here, they don't realize it's on the agenda, so it seems difficult to defend them, but that's what I see on their side of the ledger.
Well, what I planned on saying was, one, City Hall doesn't belong in the library. And two, we don't have to take that whole amount of that loan, correct?
You don't have to take any of it.
Yeah, but we lose the grant if we don't take the loan.
No. You can borrow the money, 2.2 million or whatever amount you wish, let's say it's 1.5 million. And you do your project and you have your fundraiser and you have your identified fundraising. They can turn around and if they raise all the money within 3 weeks, which you know won't be possible, but over whatever time, and they show you how that debt's going to be retired, once, if you walked in on day 2 after signing that loan agreement, you keep the $250,000.
If you pay it off the loan.
Yes.
Well, what I would suggest is they've got, what, 180 days
Yes.
under the terms of the loan. If they can raise enough to pay off the debt, then I was prepared to support it. But not if it means we gotta borrow the money.
No, there is absolutely no way we can afford to borrow $2 million. We can maybe do it for a day or two, but we can't be doing it for 40 years. That would be ridiculous. But the hope that I have is that they will take this, and I think this is what they're working on, is they're working with their fundraiser to try to raise the money. Now, I know there's a lot of us that at times say, gosh, as hard as it is to just to get somebody to buy a drink, it's going to be dang hard to raise that kind of money. But what if they do? What if these people are right, that there's people willing to donate to a library that don't live in this city, that live in the surrounding community, that still live in some of our surrounding businesses, and they come in and they show you, here's what we've got for pledges, here's how we're going to reduce that debt and pay it off in a period of 18 months or 24 months, I don't know what. And you'll have, there'll be a decision to be made saying, can I take the risk that they will be successful? What are, who are these donors? Are they viable? Are they realistic? Or is this just a sham and they look like they're going to fold? I can understand that. Those are tough choices. It's no different than I'm sure the church went through over here when they did their fundraiser. And we heard enough about that $1 million project. So all I'm saying is the part that we're at risk for is the part that they keep entertaining, but we collectively haven't had a discussion about saying this is what we want to do. And I think they've gotten to the point where they're able to separate the two things. And if you tell them we don't want this, whether you do it today or when they come in to see you, I think they're going to be able to live with it. What they got to have is a project that will float and not one that will fall apart because you suddenly say to them, we don't want to build City Hall. I think they should have heard that message loud and clear.
City Hall, yeah, in my mind is out. That downtown lot is out, as far as I'm concerned.
But if we can't use it, if we have to pay the state back $200,000.
Yeah, are we going to get that much for that lot to ever recover that grant money?
One thing for certain is we will never get any income off of that land if we build a public building on it.
Well,
The library will not pay taxes, and it will never generate enough income on book fees and lattes to pay the city back $200,000 for their share.
You're absolutely right at that, Vern. But what you need to look at, and you got to give serious, I think, consideration of those who bring valid experiences of cities like Rushford that have built a library downtown for the very purpose of bringing people to the downtown area. And it can be an economic, just as your primitive camping ground. Will that ever pay for itself? No. But what does it do? It brings people to the town. And that's what this library, and the architect they've hired, there is none in the business that I can tell has a greater track record of what that does to a downtown. And you gotta at least listen to them. I mean, I was a doubter.
I did listen to Dan Munson and the library board and the public hearing folks. And I have listened, and I have given it a lot of consideration, but it makes no sense to me at this time. If it's a viable project, it can be done in the future. There will always be something that can be done. There will always be a way to achieve something that's good.
Why?
This rush to spend and rush to waste, and I say that tongue in cheek, but that open lot downtown that could be used, which will never be used with a public library on it, for any other use than that, and we have one, we have a building, and I understand that building brand new is always more attractive. But the world took a hit. America took a hit. Rushford took a double hit. And our taxpayers are hard pressed. Very hard pressed. You and I have talked about this since the flood.
And the challenge to the library
We knew
board.
it was gonna be 5 years for this thing to heal. We've got at least 2 years left
Yeah.
before people will honestly be able to say that they don't wake up in the middle of the night when it storms. And that they're finally recovering enough to see their way over the top of that second or third mortgage. That their wages start to recover, maybe, hopefully, soon, for all of us, for all of our sakes, business community included.